Are you searching for information on opening a medical spa business and making it profitable within your first year? Are you thinking about buying an existing medical spa or selling one? In this video series, we showed our social media audience how to succeed in their business journey and sound, timeless strategies we've been using for over 20 years. We've used all these strategies to grow aesthetic medical practices to seven-figure sales and beyond. We've decided to post this valuable information on YouTube because these timeless strategies might be just the thing you need to grow your business and succeed in the coming months and years. Kelly here with Projected Growth Consulting. I'm excited to be here today to talk about things you should consider doing at the year end, because we are at the year end and it's time to start looking at what you want to do different next year, setting up your plan, looking at your results. And I'm going to share with you, there are basic small business tips that apply to every single business out there, that's for sure. And I'm also going to talk about what applies to us as owning med spas, plastic surgery practices, functional medicine practices, any kind of cash pay practices that you might own out there. If you've been following me for long, I'm Kelly at Projected Growth Consulting, and I want to also share with you guys that, as you go through your business, it's like any small business, there are three major categories to your business. Now, a small business is categorized anything under, I think, 100 employees. And typically you've got operations, finance, and marketing. Those are the three main departments in any company, right? Operations, finance, and marketing. Now, I typically put the legal under the finance or operations side of things. So as you come to year end, you do want to make sure you have an accountant set up to do your taxes. If you don't already, quickly do that, because once you get into January through April, it's really hard to get a good accountant, and you'll probably have to file, an extension. So if you don't currently have a CPA and you're just getting started, go ahead and get a hold of a CPA and get that person into place so that you can budget for that next year as well. Next, I would say you want to make sure that, now we're talking about kind of this finance tax area right now. This is an excellent time every year to review your contracts that you're sending out to your clients, as well as your employment contracts, and the contracts that you might have with vendors. So in terms of year end, we're talking about tax preparation, closing your books, looking at, hopefully looking at your numbers early to decide if you've got too much taxable income. That's a terrible problem to have. Maybe you want to use that, the 179 tax credit. Maybe it is a good time for you to buy a piece of equipment, or maybe you pay bills early this year before the year end so that you can get your taxable income down. Some people will prepay extra lease payments. They might do an investment if they've been needing to buy a piece of equipment. So before the year end is a great time to send your profit and losses and balance sheets to your accountant for a quick look-see, and they can give you just an idea of whether you need to do some spending or something like that to get your taxable income down or perhaps up. Like maybe you're writing off a bunch of gift certificates that haven't been redeemed and you're going accruals, and so you want to write those off, and that you're not going to expect them to come in, which you might want to do every 2 or 3 years, because we all know that gift certificates cannot expire. If you're going cash basis, you're paying taxes on them when you get that money in. If you're doing accrual, you're not paying taxes on that until you render those services. If you are having trouble with your accounting and understanding what those profit and losses mean, you need to schedule a consultation or an executive coaching series with me, because the way the chart of accounts is set up, when it's done correctly, you truly do have a speedometer, a gas pedal, and a brake pedal, and you can see your RPMs. Now that's only if we set up the chart of accounts correctly in your QuickBooks that your CPA is using as well. Now, you can have a CPA that doesn't understand everything about the med spa industry, and they will set it up completely different than what I'm going to suggest. Typically, I see people using income all as one line item income. I would suggest you break that down between injectables, laser, etc., major categories that you have in your POS system right now, because you want to use a cost of goods category for the direct expenses relating to rendering that services. For example, in your cost of goods, you would put everything you buy from your back bar for your toxins and your dermal fillers. Those would go in injectables cost of goods. Now, a cost of goods is a better expense to have than a variable expense. It's kind of like thinking about if you're going to have debt, is it better to have a mortgage or a credit card debt? It just looks better, and it truly gives you an idea of your profit margins without staffing for that service. So let me give you another example. If you've got a certain laser that requires disposables, that is clearly a cost of good for that piece of equipment, for that service. You cannot render that service without spending the money to get the new handpiece or the additional clicks, whatever that is. So cost of goods is I have to buy this particular thing in order to provide this service. So it's not your labor, it's not your marketing. Those are important things, but they're down in the general expenses. So if you do not understand your financials and you want help with that, reach out to us. If you want help creating your chart of accounts so they make sense, let us know as well. Or check out the Profit Killers book, because that will show you, it's right here, the Top 10 Profit Killers book. You can get that. If you go to our website, you'll get a free copy, just pay shipping. And the workbook that comes with it is super helpful. If you haven't got that yet, you might really enjoy the step-by-step guidance, or work with me personally. Either way, just click to do a consultation or go to our website if you want this information. This will really help you at year end. So right now we're functioning on that financial piece. So your tax preparation, of course, is key. Paying off as many of the vendors as you can for a clean closeout of the year is great, especially if you have extra taxable income that you're trying to drive down a little bit. Our other areas are if you're thinking about changing your point of sale or your scheduling software, your reporting software, December is a fabulous time to do that. It's really great if you can go to a new system in January or right before January. If you're not yet using QuickBooks or you're switching from a certain software to another, now is the time operationally that makes the most sense for you to have clean reporting. We all know garbage in, garbage out. So if you're thinking about getting a new way to schedule, report, and do your electronic medical records, reach out to us. I do have some recommendations for you. Not all of them are created equal. Your point of sale software can be a really, really important asset for you, especially in understanding things like your retention and your conversion, etc. So we are talking about financial things to do at the end of the year. So I've mentioned get tax ready, make sure you have an accountant. If you want to switch your software, now is the time. Reviewing your contracts that are outgoing, reviewing your staffing contracts, your invoices, your contracts with primary vendors. This is the time to do that and to renegotiate things. This is a time to set your sales goals for next year by looking at your performance goals probably at the last 3 years. I mean, it's a lot of numbers are affected, but you can look at 19, 20, and 21, look at your monthly averages, and you want to forecast out with seasonality in mind. If you are using the same equipment with the same staff, you should try to grow about 10% a year. That is assuming that you're putting at least 5% of your income towards marketing to continue growing that 5 to 10%, okay? But if you have not yet done a capacity analysis, reach out to us and we can share with you how to do that. You need to look at your total capacity available, what you're running at, and that will tell you whether you need more staff or more equipment, or do you just need more leads and better closing, better consulting, right? So is it a leads problem or is it a closing problem? Is it a staffing problem so that you can't get your revenue up? Do you not have enough staff? Do you not have enough capacity? These are the things that I'm talking to you about, setting up your chart of accounts correctly and using the right point of sale system so that you can answer those questions, just like driving a car. Should I speed up? Should I slow down? Should I shift gears? Do I need to put my traction control on? When you understand your financials, they work that way. Now, it can take a little bit of doing to get there, but I promise you we can reorient them so that you really know how much profit you make from your injectables versus this laser versus your retail. How much commission can you afford to use? How do you create, that bonus structure? These are all in that financial area. So, looking 3 years back, setting your goals 1 year forward, looking at your current capacity in your organizational chart. Now is that time to look at where you're trying to go, where you've been, whether you have the right people in the right spots, whether you need to recruit and hire. This is a good time of year. to be doing an overall audit on your company. But number one, never take your chances with taxes. We know that taxes are critically important, so get your CPA, get your working profit and loss and balance sheet to them the way it is. Find out if you should be trying to maybe get that taxable income down quickly before the end of the year. You need to know that now, and you can retroactive a couple things in there if possible, but now's that time to talk to your accountant, not waiting until January once the year is over. Okay, so those are my financial legal checklist. Those are my recommendations. Now I'm going to move into marketing, which is a really fun one, right? So marketing, here are the things that I really recommend you look at. Look at your annual marketing plan from last year and look at where you filled in whether a promotion was strong or not, whether it performed well or not. Look at your events and look at the sales and the time frame and really assess what was working and what was not, because we want to reuse those things that are working. If you have an excellent promotion that really gets people's attention and works well, then we want to rerun that. Again, maybe you run it exactly the same, maybe you change it slightly. It's okay, however you want to do it. But the main components of what worked about that contest of the month or that promotion or that event, you want to make sure to utilize that again. We are all in the job of marketing, which is what is working and let's do more, what is not working and let's do less. Let's look at how much we're spending and what that creates in revenue, making sure that's at least a 4x return on investment. Otherwise, it's not a good marketing investment. And so the way that we do that is if you have created your annual marketing plan and you've gone back through and you've already noted what performed well and what didn't and how many people entered which contests, which is part of the annual marketing plan grid, then you know by looking at it what you should do more of for next year. Now is the time to set up those monthly cross promotions, those quarterly events, and the monthly contests. Now is the time to reach out and get on your favorite vendor calendars for them to come in and do a lunch and learn or talk to you about your upcoming events and promotions so that you get the car stock before everybody else does. The early bird definitely gets the worm, and if you miss it in the beginning of the year, try to get it right before Q2. They usually do it quarterly, but some of them really are rationing things out for half a year. So the sooner that you know what you're shooting for in terms of promotions and events, the more support you can get from your vendors and your staff. So you want to optimize that in order to drive your overall costs down and to give your staff warning about when events are coming up. So that's all done right there in that annual marketing plan. So if you're not using it yet, it's not too late. What did they say? If something's a good thing to do, you should have done it yesterday, but today's the second best, right? So if you haven't yet got the Top 10 Profit Killers book or the action guide, I really recommend that you do that. There's a lot of marketing assistance in that guide. We also have some free resources on our website, as well as on-demand courses to work on social media marketing, market planning, and sales. So check those out. They're all super affordable and they're there for your whole team. Now is the time of year to figure out your sales training, your sales numbers, your marketing numbers, all of those things. So we've started with digital marketing here because we're talking about the marketing part of your business. So creating your annual marketing plan is number one, right? The next thing is really looking at setting up that 2022 plan, and that includes your promotions, your events, and your contests, but also your vendor appointments, because you want as much help as you can get to drive those costs down. And that's what I'm really going to concentrate on marketing. Now, I also feel like I know it's incredibly important at the year end to look at how much you're spending in marketing and hopefully being able to track what you are getting for that marketing. It's your marketing ROI worksheet. That's included in the book, and I would encourage you to do that because now is a good time of year to renegotiate those marketing partners and to come on fresh and strong in the new year. So this is the time to take that time to do that. I don't know about you guys, but I do close the company every year between Christmas and New Year's to give my time staff to regenerate, to take a look at the next year. It's a good time for me to work on the company without working in the company. And that is something that I think I know our staff really values as one of the benefits for working with PGC. That brings me to operations. Now, operations are your people your equipment, how your facility is running. This is a great time of year. Number one, you really need to do your final inventory counts. Maybe you want to take a picture of your odometer at the end of the year and the beginning of the year for your tax purposes. It's all those kinds of systems. So we want to look at the org chart. We want to look at the position descriptions. We want to look at people's employment contracts. We really want to look at the org chart on a bigger picture as the owner of the company. Again, this is how do we assess the players and their positions and where we're trying to go. Are we open too many hours? Are we not open enough hours? Do we need certain people to go part-time? I have to admit that it's been a game of chess, right? Throughout the end of 2020, and 21. Things are changing quickly. So sometimes we need to expand the hours and the staff, and sometimes you need to bring them back in. And so this is the time of year to really look at that. And when you take time, a couple days out of your calendar, to really look at your business as a whole in these three areas of finance, marketing, and operations, I think you're going to sigh a deep sigh of relief and confidence because you've done the things that are necessary to do to take your game to the next level. You know we're here to help you as a full business consultant. So we do everything from turnarounds to financial analysis, helping with venture capital raising. Maybe you're looking at valuations or possibly buying a business, starting a business. All of those things we're here to do, but we're here to do them with the expertise of this niche. Have I been in other business niche? Yes. Have I been in this one since 1999? Yes. We have a team of over 20 people, I think we're at 25, that are all here, experts in this industry, to either A, help you make your financial plan, B, get an event on the books and get some quick capital in your hands so that you can then do marketing correctly, do social media correctly, do those things that are going to give you the ongoing results of not just an immediate capital injection. We are here to either delegate. So our motto is with you, for you, or do it yourself. So we provide everything in a book or course format that you can do it yourself. The courses are interactive and they have coaching sessions with them. So that's do it with us. If you want us to do it for you, you can outsource your events or your social media or your digital marketing completely to PGC. And that's what we're here to do, is to help you grow your business and share with you what we've learned after helping over 4,000 clients now. So if you want an expert that understands this industry inside and out, please reach out to us for a complimentary consultation. You might want to join our VIP Inner Circle group where I meet once a week and go through Q&A just like this, anything that you have question and answer. I hope you have the most profitable year ever, and we are wishing you happy holidays from Projected Growth Consulting, and we look forward to helping you create a prosperous 2022. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe and click the notification icon to be notified every time we post a new video. And don't forget to grab your free copy of our book and all the resources we've provided. You can find the links in the description below.